Hello and welcome to ProCell TV. Today I'm joined by David Vatchell, Learning and Development Manager within the BT organisation, and we're going to be talking about coaching and how that can help generate greater levels of sales and service behaviours in organisation. So David, coaching and training, how do you differentiate between the two? What's your personal interpretation of those? And maybe you could tell me a little bit about why you believe that coaching is seen to be such a powerful part of the learning and development armoury today.
I guess the major difference is the way in which it's personalised. Coaching is predominantly a one-to-one. I know that you can talk about sports coaching, for example, where there are teams involved, but even in sports coaching, you're generally working at a one-to-one level, and you're working on a very specific context for that engagement. And it's usually about some particular piece of performance that the subject of the coaching has been struggling with or trying to change. With a training environment, and by which I'm sort of thinking in terms of the traditional courses or e-learning, you're generally speaking in a much more mass environment. You're talking with a class of people or a group of people, even if it's, whether it's a traditional classroom affair where you've got a dozen or so people in, whether it be an e-learning environment where you're trying to address perhaps thousands of people with a particular module, or whether it's some complicated action learning program where you may have a group of people going through a variety of different programs to satisfy an overall objective. But it's still more of a common approach as opposed to the one-to-one approach you have in coaching.
How do you go about evaluating and validating the impact of coaching within organisations?
I think with coaching, the principles aren't actually very different. The principles still start with, what are we trying to achieve? What did we do? What was the effect of that? And those are the three questions you've actually got to ask yourself in any form of evaluation, whether it be traditional training or whatever. I don't think you can use the same tools in terms of the participant reaction stuff. So the reaction stuff is very much more difficult, I think, with coaching. But I think in terms, when you get to the deeper things, is the coachee now behaving in a way which is the way we want people to behave in line with our corporate objectives? You can apply the same principles there as you could with a training program.
Sure.
That's the other aspect that we've got to get ourselves involved with. I think one of the things that I would love to see is an approach by the learning and development profession that is focused more on performance improvement as a systemic issue, as opposed to just thinking we deliver training or we deliver coaching or we deliver whatever. It's got to be looking at the big picture.
Sure.
We're very good at, as a profession, we're good at designing a learning event, we're very good at designing e-learning, but we're not locating it systemically within the overall picture. And the trouble is that when you're good with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So we go on doing good training stuff, and we do some really good stuff. There's some really excellent training material out there, but until we take a systemic view of things, we're not really going to be taken seriously by the businesses or the economy.
So David Vatchell, thank you ever so much for your time today. Very much appreciated.